Hello friends, welcome to UPSC Logics and this is UPPSC Special Revision Series and this is part 1 of the 200 questions in one line format for revision purposes based on history of India. So this is mix and match questions. There is no particular sequence to it. So without wasting any time, let's begin. The statue of Gomteshwara at Shravanbelgola was built by Chamundrai. Live well as long as you live. Live well even by borrowing. For once cremated there is no return. The rejection of afterlife is an aphorism of the Charvakas. Which one of the following usages was a post-Vedic development? These were the four stages: Brahmacharya, Grihasthashram, Vanprasth and Sannyas. The capital of Kingdom of Maharaja Ranjit Singh was Lahore. In the Gandhara sculptures, the preaching mudra associated with Buddha's first sermon at Sarnath is Dharmachakra. The name of the poet Kalidas is mentioned in the Ahiol inscription. Which one of the following important trade centers of ancient India was on the trade route connecting Kalyan and Vengi? It was Tagara. The first Indian ruler who joined the subsidiary alliance was the Nizam of Hyderabad. Vidushak, a common character in Sanskrit drama, is invariably a Brahman. Toraman belonged to the ethnic horde of the Hunas. Who is said to have witnessed the reign of 8 Delhi Sultans? It was Amir Khusro. The first Indian ruler to organize Hajj pilgrimage at the expense of the state was Akbar. Who among the following ladies wrote a historical account during the Mughal period? It was Gulbadan Begum. The first to start a joint stock company to trade with India were the Dutch. The caves and rock-cut temples at Ellora are Hindu, Buddhist and Jain. The significance of Bengal Regulation Act of 1793 lies in the fact that it accommodated the personal laws of Hindus and Muslims. The Mansabdari system introduced by Akbar was borrowed from which system? And this system was borrowed from the system in Mongolia. Which monument has a dome which is said to be one of the largest in the world? It is Gol Gumbaj, Bijapur. Ashpradhan was a council of ministers in the Marathas. The concept of Anuvarat was advocated by Jainism. Hugli was used as a base for piracy in the Bay of Bengal by the Portuguese. What was the script used in the earliest Tamil inscriptions? It was Brahmi. At which place did Mahatma Gandhi start his first satyagraha in India? It was Champaran. Who was the British PM at the time of revolt in 1857? It was Lord Palmerston. Who is considered to be father of Ayurveda? It is Charak. Which Veda throws light on the belief and practices of the non-Aryans? It is Arthaveda. Who was called Jinda Peer or a living saint in the Mughal India? It was Aurangzeb. What was Sher Shah's real name? It was Farid. Who earned the title of a liberator? It was Ashoka. Who was the Nanda ruler at the time of Alexander's invasion? It was Dhanananda. Which Chola ruler converted the Bay of Bengal into a Chela lake? It was Rajendra I. During whose reign did Kalidas lived? It was Chandragupta II. The Gayatri month contained in the Rigveda is dedicated to which deity? It is Savitri. Which ruler is known as Amitraghatta or the destroyer of foes? It was Bindusara. Under which Sultan Chalisa land increased considerably? Alauddin Khilji. Which Mughal emperor's tomb is outside India? Jahangir. Who was the first foreigner to invade India? Darius I. Who was the first governor of Portuguese in India? It was D. Almada. During which movement was Mahatma added before Gandhiji's name? It was Champaran. Who is the father of local self-government in India? It is Lord Ripon. Who introduced the Mansabdari system? It was Akbar. By whom was the Indian Independence League set up? Ras Bihari Bose. By which river did Puliskin II defeat Harshvardhan? Narmada. By whom was the city of Agra founded in 1504? It was Sikandar Lodi. Who deciphered Adhikansh inscriptions for the first times? James Prinsep. First Anglo-Maratha War ended by which treaty? It was the Treaty of Salbai. By whom was the practice of sati declared illegal? Lord William Bentinck. Which was the god of animal during the later Vedic period? It was Rudra. From where did Sufi movement start? It was Persia. By whom was the famous Kirti Stambh at Chittor built? Rana Kumbha. Analects is a sacred text of which religion? Confucius religion. Which Rajput dynasty did not surrender to Akbar? It was Sisodia. Which ruler at first assumed the title of Hajrat-e-Ala and afterwards Sultan? It was Sher Shah Suri. Who is related to Sarvodaya and Bhudan movement? Acharya Vinoda Bhave. Which Sikh Guru called himself the Sacha Badshah? Guru Har Gobind. Which was the capital of Rana Ranjit Singh of Punjab? Lahore. High courts in Calcutta, Mumbai and Madras were established in which year? 1861. With whom did Al-Biruni come to India? Muhammad of Ghazni. Who destroyed the group of 40 nobles? Balban. Who was the daughter of Emperor Aurangzeb? Zebunissa. Who was the first speaker of independent India? It was G.V. Mavlankar. Where did first madrasa set up by the British in India? It was in Calcutta. In India, where did the Dutch establish their earliest factory? Musulipatnam. Who was the writer of the Indian War of Independence? V.D. Savarkar. In which battle did Nadir Shah defeat Muhammad Shah? Battle of Karnal. By whom was the first Muslim invasion of India led? Muhammad bin Qasim. What is the subject matter of the Upanishads? Religion. Who betrayed Sirajud-Daulah in the Battle of Plassey in 1757? Mir Jafar. Who invited Babur to invade India? Alam Khan. Who attended the second Round Table Conference as the representative of the Congress? It was Mahatma Gandhi. Who was the member of Din-e-Ilahi? Birbal. With whom was the last opportunity to avoid the partition of India lost? It was the Cabinet Mission. Who is known as the Indian Bismarck? Vallabhbhai Patel. Memoirs of Babur or Tujuk-e-Babari was written in which language? It was written in Turkish. Who organized Ashmegh Yagh in the Gupta period? It was Samudragupta. Which group were related to Tan Bhagat movement? It was the Uran. Who was thrice elected president of the Indian National Congress? Dadabhai Naoroji. A Forgotten Empire, written by a renowned historian Robert Sewell, is about which empire? Vijayanagar Empire. Who proposed the name Pakistan? It was Chaudhry Rahmat Ali. Who was the oldest British monarch to sit on the throne? Elizabeth II. By whom was the first estimate of national income in India made? Dadabhai Naoroji. Where did parallel government form during Quit India movement? Balia. During whose viceroyalty Queen Victoria was crowned with Kesre-Hind in the Delhi Darbar? Lord Lytton. Raja Ravi Verma was an eminent figure in which field? Painting. Who stated that there was no slavery in India? Megasthenes. Who was the regent of Akbar? Bairam Khan. By whom was the agitation against the partition of Bengal led? Surendranath Banerjee. Who was the Mughal emperor to have lifted the jizya on Hindus? It was Akbar. Who is known as the father of India's unrest? Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Against whom did Gandhiji start the Satyagraha movement in 1919 as a protest? It was the British and it was the enactment of Rowlatt Act. Who was the first president of the Indian Trade Union Congress in 1920? It was Lala Lajpat Rai. Man, the maker of his own destiny book was written by which person? It was Swami Vivekanand. Who was the Governor General when the first Anglo-Burmese War started? Lord Amherst. Who was the first Hindi scholar of the Mughal period? Abdur Rahim. Quit India movement started after the failure of which proposal? It was the Cripps proposal. Who wrote the song Sare Jahan Se Acha? Muhammad Iqbal. When the East India Company came into existence, by whom was England ruled? It was the Tudors. In which session was Purn Swaraj adopted as its goal by the Indian National Congress? It was the Lahore session. Who first started the civil services in India? Lord Cornwallis. Which ruler had granted Diwani to the East India Company? It was Shah Alam II. Who named Prayagnagar as Allahabad? Akbar. Who passed the Indian Universities Act? It was Lord Curzon. By whom was Saka era founded? It was Kanishk. Which Peshwa was popularly known as Nana Sahib? It was Balaji Baji Rao. Who was the president of the Indian National Congress when the Mountbatten Plan was accepted? It was J.B. Kriplani. Who first voiced the idea of a separate Muslim state in India? It was Muhammad Iqbal. Who founded Bharat Sevak Samaj or Servants of India Society? It was Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Who had the revenue system during the Akbar's reign? It was Todamal. Attack on Chittagong arsenal was done in whose leadership? Surya Sen. Who is associated with Tashkent Agreement? It was Lal Bahadur Shastri. Who advocated the policy of abolishing princely states in free India? It was Jawaharlal Nehru. Who is responsible for the integration of Indian princely states? It was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. In which year was the Muslim League founded? 1906. In which year did the Congress lose its monopoly of power in the states for the first time after the elections? It was the year 1967. Where there is no law, there is no freedom. Who said this? John Locke. Who was the famous Indo-Greek king who embraced Buddhism? It was Menander. What was the source of blue gem lapis lazuli for the people of Harappan culture? Afghanistan. Which philosophy holds that the world is created and maintained by a universal law? It is the Jain philosophy. Which port handled the North Indian trade during the Gupta period? It was Broach. Who was the Sultan of Delhi who is reputed to have built the biggest network of canals in India? Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Which Indian ruler was a contemporary of Akbar? Rani Durgavati. Which was the first English ship that came to India? It was the Red Dragon. Which Englishman were or was the fellow of Gandhiji in South Africa? It was Polak. Who merited that Cripps mission was a post-dated check on a crashing bank? Mahatma Gandhi. By which ruler was the practice of military governorship first introduced in India? It was the Greeks. Who was called Jinda Peer or living saint in Mughal India? It was Aurangzeb. In which era did the nomadic man started settling? It was the Neolithic age. Who was the last of the 24th Jain Tirthankras? Mahavir. During whose reign Kalidas lived? Chandragupta II. Who was the last ruler of the Tughlaq dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate? It was Nasruddin Muhammad. Who was the Afghan ruler of India whose administrative system was emulated by the British? Sher Shah. Who organized a Maratha confederacy against the English, leading to the Third Anglo-Maratha War? The Peshwa, the best and the bravest of the military leaders of the rebels. About whom was this said by Sir Hugh Grose? It was Rani of Jhansi. During India's freedom struggle, which led to the first All India Hartal, protest against the Rowlatt Act. Which region of India was ruled by Sultan Zainul Abidin? It was Kashmir. Near the banks of which river excavations have brought to light that Indus Valley civilization percolated to far south? It is Krishna. The earliest Buddhist literature that deals with the stories of various births of Buddha are the Jatakas, which was the most important factor in transforming ancient Indian society into a feudal society. It was the practice of giving land grants. Why did Muhammad bin Tughlaq transfer his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad to control South India better? Which Mughal emperor gave land for the construction of the Golden Temple at Amritsar? It was Akbar. Which one of the following regions did not constitute a separate Suba or province under Akbar? Awadh. Sayana is associated with Vijayanagar kingdom. The third Buddhist council was convened at Patliputra in 250 BC. Who among the following scholars wrote history of Dharmashastra? It was P.V. Khane. According to tradition, how many Sangams were held? 5. Who argued that the Aryans came from Central Asia? It was Brandon Steen. Who got the Farman to trade and establish factories from Jahangir in 1616? It was Sir Thomas Roe. Who defeated the Mughals in the year 1686 and 1690? It was Sir Josiah Child. Who established the city of Calcutta in the year 1690? It was Job Charnock. In which year was Fort William fortified in Calcutta? 1696. First Army Fund was established by Robert Clive in 1765. Battle of Solihull was fought in the year 1612. Who won the Battle of Solihull? It was the British who defeated the Portuguese, and the war was fought over control of sea route to Mecca. Which of the following officers, according to our Shastra, were entrusted with the collection of revenue? It was Samarth. Which sect was initially called Nirgranth? It was Jaina sect. The commonest term for peasantry in early medieval North India is Kutumbin. By modern times, the main seaport of Ganga Basin was Tamralipti. Buddhism was introduced into Tibet by Pala king. What was the major item of export in the Kushana period? It was cotton textiles. Al-Biruni's account of India is Kitabul Hind. Wali under the Sultans of Delhi was provincial governor. Amir Khusro described the military campaign of Jalaluddin Khilji in his work Miftah-ul-Futuh. The most powerful kings of northern India in the 9th and 10th century were Gurjar Pratiharas. The view that the Rajputs were descendants of the Vedic Aryans is expressed by C.V. Vaidya. Which sultan replaced the system of measurement of land by crop sharing in the Khalisa areas? It was Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Who among the following Vijayanagar rulers bore the title of Gaj Bent Kara? It was Devrai II. Which Vijayanagar ruler sent an embassy to China? It was Bakka I. The Sultan Gadi was built as a mausoleum for Nasruddin Muhammad. The first madrasa at Delhi, namely Madrasa-e-Muiz, was established by Iltutmish. Officer in charge of royal household under the Sultans of Delhi was designated Wali-e-Dar. The Chishti saint who founded a branch of Chishti Silsila in Gulbarga was Gesudaraj. Who were Nirguni Bhakti saints? It was Raidas, Dadu and Dhanna. Brahmar Geet were composed by Surdas. The correct chronology of dynasties that ruled Vijayanagar was Sangam, then came the Sulva, then Tulva, then Arividu. Pushti Marg was founded by Vallabhacharya. Which of the following rulers of Bikaner was deposed by Jahangir? It was Raja Rai Singh. Who is the author of Safinat-ul-Awliya Dara Shikoh? The Ibadat Khana was closed in the year 1582. Which Mughal emperor made serious attempt to annex Transoxania? It was Shah Jahan. Cultivation of tobacco was introduced in India during the reign of Jahangir. In 1585, Akbar shifted his capital to Lahore. Nasak during the Mughal period was a land revenue system. The following mosque is entirely made of marble. It is Moti Masjid Agra Fort. The first comprehensive historian of Marathas was James Cunningham Grant Duff. The ruler patronized musician Lal Khan Gun Samudra was Shah Jahan. Dastan-e-Amir-e-Hamza was illustrated during the reign of Akbar. The English East India Company obtained the lease of Madras in 1639. Who was imprisoned by the Mughal Emperor Jahangir? It was Sheikh Ahmad Sarhindi. In 1739, the Portuguese lost their possessions of Salsette and Basian to Marathas. Lohagarh fort was built by Guru Gobind Singh. In 1585-86, the only Rajput who held a mansab of 5,000 was Raja Man Singh. Who introduced the Mughal land revenue system in the Deccan? It was Murshid Quli Khan. Who, according to Bernier, was the owner of land in India? It was the king. Hyder Ali established his authority over the state of Mysore in 1761. In 1751, the Nawab of Bengal ceded Orissa to Marathas. Which Peshwa started a long campaign against the Siddhis of Janjira? It was Bajirao I. Who was the founder of Widow Remarriage Association in the 19th century? It was Vishnu Shastri Pandit. Shahu was granted the Chauth and Sardesh Mukhi of Deccan during the reign of Farrukhsiyar. Farrukhsiyar was deposed and killed by the Sayyid brothers. So guys, this brings us to the end of part 1 of the revision series on history of India. And this particular series is being conducted for the UPPSC exams as well as other state PCS exams. So if you are watching it for the first time, do like and subscribe to this channel. In case you are an old subscriber and haven't pressed the bell icon as yet, do so you get all the new notifications on all the new videos that are being uploaded by UPSC Logics. And thank you so much for watching, and Jai Hind.